Hey everyone, in this video I want to show how you can make a moody effect with your images and bring out details and make a preset to work with this style. So what I want to do first is take an image that's fairly bright, that has a lot of colors, that has a lot of details, and I want to kind of hone in on where I want the details to show and where I want them to kind of fall into the background. In this particular case, I think I want these white flowers in the front to kind of show, and maybe some of these orange flowers. I don't know. It just depends on the picture. That's kind of where I'm going for this one. So what I want to do is go over to the panel in Lightroom, and I'm going to go to the mask section, which is the circle with the dots, and I'm going to choose linear gradient. Now, what I'm going to do is apply it to the entire thing evenly, and the way you do that is by clicking outside of the picture. So I'm going to go here and click, and what this does is it applies the mask to the entire surface, and it does it really evenly. Now what I want to do is go down to the curve section, and this is something that I've wanted for literally over a decade. The ability to mask curves, it's here, we can do it. I'm so excited. It's been here a while, but this is a method where you can do this, and by applying it to the entire image. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start by lifting up the left-hand side, and the reason I'm doing this is I wanted to matte it out, and matte finish is something that was really popular 10, 12 years ago, but it was really hard to control. So I want to get the matte finish sort of dialed into where I want it and save the mask as a preset. So I'm going to maybe pull this down just a little bit. Now you can go really dramatic and moody with this. I don't want to lose too much shadow detail because I have a very detailed picture. So where you put this dot in the shadow area, which would be the left side of this histogram that's superimposed on the back of the curves panel, I just want it to be a little more moody, and you can turn it on and off here so you can see this is really crystal clear, and this is the matte. Now what I want to do is just play with the adjustment. Of course, with every picture I'm going to be able to adjust this because it's a preset. I can go into the curves and change it. So I'm going to save it just like this as sort of a preliminary, saves me the effort of having to do the initial linear gradient and the initial adjustments with the mask. So I'm going to just hit create preset. I'm going to do it under Caroline's Flowers, which is a preset set I'm just working on building. I want to check none and then name the preset. So we're just going to say Moody Curves Mask, keep it simple. And then I want to choose what it's affecting. Now the curves is what it's affecting, and also, well, it's actually not the main curve. It's actually just the adjustments. So let's go into masking, mask 1. It's easy to forget, and I saw the curve here and I'm like, oh, it's curves, but it's not. It's actually just this mask, which entails the curves. It involves the curves adjustment within the masking. So we're going to leave it there and hit create. So this is just for the mask. This way we can build presets that don't have masking with them, and then we can combine them if we want to. So once I've applied it, and you can see it over here under Caroline's Flowers, we have Moody Curves with Mask. It's Moody Curves with Mask. We click on it, and then we click on the mask here to make it show, and there is our mask. Now we can remove what we want. By opening up this mask panel here, we want to go to the subtract because we want to remove from this mask, and I'm just going to choose the brush, and I'm going to choose my brush settings. I want the size to be maybe a little bit smaller. I want the feather to be high, the flow to be high, the density to be high. And then I can start to scrub over the top. Now if I want to see what's going on, I can hit show overlay. And this is going to show where I'm removing it from the mask. And maybe some of the purple flowers up here, maybe a leaf over here. And then I can turn the red off. And I can see that it's kind of looking weird up here. So then I can go to add with the brush, and I can start to paint that back on. You want to work with the overlay to see what you're doing and also take it off so that it doesn't look too bizarre. Let's zoom in here and go to subtract with the brush and maybe take it off this orange flower. And yeah, I'm just kind of looking around. Check the mask out there. and that gives us a bit of an effect that I think is a good starting point for making a more dramatic image. So if I turn off this mask, you can see it's not all, now I like it all clear and beautiful like this, but if I was going for a more moody and dramatic effect, I could do that. If you find that your masking is poorly done, in this case it's kind of spilling over into the dark background, I can go into the mask and add to the mask with the brush, and I can just paint it back on wherever I feel like I was a bit sloppy. And turn it back on and turn off the overlay and just keep working it with it that way. I actually like this heavy matte effect for printing because it opens up the shadows a little bit and helps get a nice print, especially if you're printing on a paper like a deep matte paper or like a hand mill paper that has a sort of a velvety finish. It gives you a lot of details in the shadows. And so that is the effect. So if I go into another image, let's just grab another one. This is another one that's very brightly colored. It's almost like candy. It's like jewel tones and really bright. I can go into the Moody curves here and then open up my adjustment panel, click on it, and then add or subtract. So maybe subtract with the brush from a couple of these orange flowers here to let them pop out. That is how you can add that moody type of effect. And you can continue with this by using linear gradients or radial gradients. For instance, one of the things a person might do is go in here to linear gradients and do negative exposure and, darken some areas even more, to really give some modeling of the light and make it appear more moody. I guess the whole point of this is being a little bit moody, but you don't have to. You can always go with a more colorful effect, as I have in the original files that are bright and colorful. It's whatever you choose. It's just how to change the mood using curves in a preset. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.